It was a meeting watched around the world. US President Donald Trump sat down with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea. And by the end of the summit, both sides claimed success. The talks produced an agreement on trade, technology, and a host of key economic issues that had long stained relations between the world's largest economies. Xi called it a quote-unquote consensus on resolving important disputes, while Trump declared that tariffs on China would immediately be reduced by 10 percentage points. But the compromise with tariffs came with conditions. Beijing agreed to resume large-scale US soybean purchases, maintain the flow of rare earth exports, and take tougher action on illicit trade of fentanyl. Trump had earlier threatened to double the tariffs on Chinese goods from November 1, but after the meeting, he said that threat would not materialize. The new trade agreement will run for 1 year, with both sides expecting to renew it annually if progress continues. A breakthrough came on rare earths, the critical minerals vital to manufacturing everything from electric cars to missiles. China produces over 90% of the world's processed rare earths and had tightened export controls earlier this year, creating shortages for several industries globally. In a statement, China's Ministry of Commerce said it would delay a planned second round of export restrictions announced in October. However, the first set of restrictions from April, covering 7 key rare earths and specialized magnets, will remain in place for now. Trump also said that, quote, there's no roadblocks, end quote, on rare earths, without giving any further details. The two leaders also discussed fentanyl, a synthetic opioid responsible for hundreds of thousands of overdose deaths in the United States. Trump said that Xi has promised quote-unquote strong action against the export of precursor chemicals, including prosecuting offenders in China. Beijing, for its part, has long argued that the US needs to address its domestic demand for drugs, but has expressed sympathy for America's opioid crisis and pledged cooperation. On agriculture, China committed to buying US soybeans once again after boycotting them for most of the year due to the trade war. The move is significant for US farmers, as China imports more than 60% of the world's soybeans and had previously accounted for over half of US exports. Trump called the resumption of purchases a quote-unquote goodwill gesture and said he expected sales to increase in the coming months. Technology was another flashpoint. Trump said that the meeting covered China's access to US-made semiconductors, especially AI chips made by NVIDIA. However, the most advanced Blackwell chips will remain off-limits for now. China, on the other hand, has been urging its tech companies to buy locally and invest in domestic chip-making to achieve technological self-reliance. Meanwhile, US export controls on advanced chips, first imposed in 2019 and later expanded, remain a major sticking point in the relationship. Taiwan, notably, did not feature in the talks. Despite speculations that Trump might soften Washington's stance, he said the topic, quote-unquote, never came up. Still, tensions around the island continue, with Chinese H-6K bombers recently conducting drills near Taiwan. In the end, the Trump-Xi meeting marked a temporary thaw in a frosty relationship. But behind the smiles and handshakes, the same old question remains. How long can this peace last in a rivalry built on competition, caution, and mistrust? That's all for now. For more such videos, please subscribe to The Hindu. If you have any feedback or suggestions for us, please write to us at videos@thehindu.co.in. Thank you.